What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel and Liberton Official. Like usually, I will give you about everything you like it and importantly it is useful for you. Okay, today I want to explain to you about bryophytes and lichens. Okay, this is biological material. Okay, let's check it out my video and stay for me. Let's check it out.
Okay, today we are going to talk about Bryophyte and lichens. So first, we have to know what are Bryophytes and lichens. The first, it is the understanding of Bryophyte. Bryophyte or mosses are a division of lower plants. The word Bryophytes comes from the word bryon. Bryon, which means moss, and phyton, which means moist or wet, which then, if concluded, Bryophytes are plants that live in humid or wet places. And next, a general characteristic of Bryophytes are that the first one lives in humid places. As we know, in humid places, such as around rivers and altitude where the growing point of this plant is at an altitude of 1000 to 2000 meters above sea level. 2. Not have true roots, stem and leaves, which mean that this plant is a very low plant. The third is not having transport network. As we know, the transport tissues plant is divided into two xylem and phloem, and this mosses does not have a transport network, and instead these mosses absorb nutrients by absorption. The fourth has plastid cells that will produce chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. This indicates that this plant has autotroph, or it can be said that this plant or this mosses can make its own food by photosynthesis. While the special characteristics of the mosses itself are several, namely the small size. We know small size. Next, life in humid places. Like this character is wet. There are no roots, but instead this moss has what's called a rhizoid. Yes, a rhizoid. In mosses, they not have a cuticle or protective layer on their bodies, stomata and lignin. And finally, a polykilohydrate nature. It means that most plants really like hydrocolloid watery places, which means water with a lot of distribution is the same in wet places. So the dominant phase is also gametophyte. And next, most life cycle. Most life cycle. In the life cycle of mosses, there is a gametophyte phase and a sporophyte phase. And in terms of reproduction, mosses can reproduce both sexually and asexually. If mosses reproduce asexually, there are several ways that can be done, including protonems that can grow to produce nibots. Leaf tissue in wet soil can produce protonems that grow from bud and grow new individual mosses. Rhizoids can produce buds and gamete, which can form on rhizoids, leaves, and leaf tips. Gamete in leaves mosses have the same role as live roots. Namely, if gamete are separated from their mother and fall in a suitable habitat, cell division will occur and new individuals will emerge. In general, in gametophyte phase in mosses consists of three phases, starting with the germination of the spores to the branches and forming a filament-like structure called a protonema. The next phase begins when shoots are formed at the protonems, and the last phase is when the shoots grow upwards. And the next from branching angels, and they begin to form leaves and rhizoid are they arranged in a spiral manner. Each protoneme will produce a genetically identical leafy gametophyte population. When discussing sexual reproduction, it is necessary to have a fertilization process between sperm cell and egg cells. In most sperm cells are produced by antheridia, or can be said plural of antheridium, and egg cells are produced by archegonia, or can be said plural of archegonia. When entering the state of sexual reproduction, most cells will produce gametonia at the end of the gametophyte stem, where the gametongia consists of archegonia and antheridia. The sporophyte phase begins when the zygote is formed as a result of fertilization. The zygote cells will then develop into an embryo, which will later differentiate into the legs, seta, and sporangnium. The legs will penetrate or enter the gametophyte stem, where there is water transport through the cell and the transfer of nutrients from the gametophyte to the sporophyte. The seta will elongate rapidly and form a sporangnium at the top after the gametophyte leaf, and archegonium will increase in size with the increase in the size of the sporophyte, which will then form a structure called calyptra. When they reach adulthood, the adult sporangnium or capsule and seta will have more complex anatomical structure, such as thicker epidermal walls and presence of a cuticle layer, the presence of stomata, the presence of a part of the cortex, and the presence of the other supporting tissues. When it reaches adulthood, the seta will reach a high size and are ready to enter the dispersal state. The mature capsule will dry out and form a tongue-like structure called the operculum. The operculum is surrounded by peristome teeth, which function to protect the spores and will open when the environment supports it. Okay, the next classification of mosses. Okay, first classification is Marsantiophyta. The gametophyte thallus cannot be distinguished between the leaf and stem structures. The roots are in the form of rhizoids. The gametophyte is formed by archegonium and antheridium, which is spread like an umbrella. Yes, like an umbrella. Okay, second classification is Anthesaurophyta. Okay, this classification, root is still in the form of rhizoid thallus gametophyte. Okay, cannot be distinguished between leaf and stem. Structure sporophytic thallus resembles the shapes of horn or slender or small needle. Okay, the third classification, Bryophyte. In this classification, dominant sporophyte phase has spore capsules, indistinguishable root, stem, and true leaves. During development of star capsule or seta, grow in length slowly. Okay, finally, most benefit. What's the benefit of mosses in our life? Okay, most benefits. Material for household decoration. Yes, can use decoration in our house. Or medicines. Yes, medicines. Or materials for science. Yes, for research. And biological indicator to determine environmental degradation. Skin and eyes medicine. Yes, for skincare. Help to resist erosion. Reduces the danger of flooding, and is able to absorb water in the dry season. So in this mosses, many benefits for our lives. So we're talking about lichens. Yes, what is the lichens? What do you think about it? Okay, now I give you understanding about lichens. The first, the basic understanding. Lichens, what is it? Lichens is symbiosis between fungi and algae. Oh yes, symbiosis between fungi and algae. Symbiotic fungi are called mycobionts and are usually of the Ascomyceta type, while symbiotic algae are called ecobionts, usually of the cyanobacteria and chlorophyta types. Broadly speaking, the composition of the lichen's body can be divided into three layers. The first is the outer layer or cortex. This layer is composed of fungal cells that are dense and strong to keep and lichens from growing. The two layers of gonidium are layers that contain algae that produce food by photosynthesis. The three layers of phyte are composed of fungal cells that are not tightly packed to function to store water supplies and place of reproduction. So next, we're talking about thallus types in lichens. Yes, thallus types. The first, crustose. What's the crustose? The crustose is mean. This type is thin and flat. The second, foliose. What's the meaning? Foliose its meaning leaf-like shape. Fructose, it's mean long and branched. Squamous, it's mean scale-like shapes. And finally, what's the benefit of lichens? Benefit lichens in our life as a population monitoring guide, or can be said biological indicator. Yes, it can use be perfume. It can use decoration in our house. It can use for medicine and other. Yes, so many and mosses and lichens have many benefits in our lives. So in the biology have benefit for our life.
Okay guys, I think it is my explain, and that's all I explain about biological material. I think you enjoyed my video and stay my channel about important information. Okay, see you guys.